What happens when you stop giving attention to a narcissist and refuse to be controlled? We're back for another video. Please accept my sincere greetings to everybody who has joined us here today. Without your support, my channel would be impossible. We value your time and effort greatly. Subscribing to this channel and turning on the bell will ensure that you never miss an upload. It's great to finally meet you. Let's get down to business here. The vulnerabilities of narcissists are under scrutiny nowadays. Therefore, to successfully interact with a narcissist, it is essential to identify and exploit their vulnerabilities. The very act of refusing to do as the narcissist requests are always seen as an attack by them, regardless of whether or not you are merely defending yourself. Narcissists exhibit many odd behaviors in an effort to attract the attention they crave. Every day, they are motivated by an overwhelming desire to be the focus of all attention. They also like being prodded or followed until they achieve their goals. They enjoy playing mind games with their victims by either not responding at all to messages or taking an extremely long time to respond to any messages sent. They want you to spare no effort in bringing their attention to you. If you suddenly stop paying attention to the narcissist and then ignore or block them, it can feel like a direct attack on their ego. Nonetheless, it is what I suggest you do. When they give you the silent treatment, you could try to make them remain silent for as long as possible by blocking them and refusing to interact with them. It's exhausting to put up with a narcissist's emotional and psychological games. That's a fact. If you find that you simply can't go, no contact with the narcissist, there are various strategies available to you. To that end, we'll talk about when it's best to ignore a narcissist today. Show them that we are excited to treat them the way they treat us, to give them the taste of their own medicine. Demonstrate that we are ready and able to handle everything that may come our way. A narcissist will have no problem ignoring others, but they will have a hard time ignoring anyone who tries to interact with them, and this is always the case. Therefore, they will undoubtedly respond badly when ignored. Just because you haven't talked to or blocked them doesn't mean life has returned to normal, though. On the other hand, we know very well that this is not the case. A narcissist will feel entitled to your attention, even if you choose to ignore them. The fact that you don't spend much time with them and don't appear to care about them emotionally drives them crazy. The narcissist's rage and thirst for revenge are driven by the humiliation and insecurity he or she experiences as a result of being disregarded. It really irritates them because they need constant praise and approval. Individuals who suffer from narcissism often view themselves as indispensable to the rest of the world, and hence, a narcissist can never prioritize you in their life. After the love-bombing phase, they become the center of everyone's attention because they have accomplished their mission. It's time for them to bring you down so they can feel better about themselves, rather than lifting your spirits. You should share their concern for their wants and requirements. Ignoring a narcissist is the worst and most lethal thing you can do to them. A narcissist would much rather have you pay attention to them than ignore them. Even negative responses from you is still better. It upsets them greatly that they are being treated as though they are worthless. It's your choice whether or not to speak up when confronted by a narcissist, but if you ignore their attempts to contact you and never get back to them, you're giving them too many opportunities to act out. Put in zero effort when you don't feel like engaging with them. It's a clear signal to the narcissist that you're not interested in having any sort of meaningful conversation with them. There are two possible results when the narcissist is ignored. They may see your silence as a declaration of war. You should anticipate their smear campaigns to spread and attempts to turn others against you as a result of this. Narcissists also utilize the technique of drawing attention away from you and towards themselves. You can effectively ignore them by doing activities they already know you enjoy. They'd be boiled in rage if you see yourself enjoying your time without caring about them. Narcissists will resort to any means necessary to gain your attention. Because of this, they are unstoppable until they have completely destroyed you. Keep in mind that there is a lot of wiggle room for overlooking both the good and bad in a person. You can still make happy recollections with a narcissist. That's true. So, avoid being persuaded by them. You're being lured back into the fray by the strategy used to keep you on an emotional roller coaster here. Despite the pleasant memories you have of your time together, it's just the love-bombing phase, and the narcissist will always be a narcissist. That's why, no matter what happens, you need to keep your cool. Stop the narcissist from wreaking havoc in your life by doing this. In most interactions with narcissists, inaction is the best response. Nothing bad or painful will be allowed here. It's preferable not to respond emotionally to the narcissist's words or actions. If you have a good idea of the narcissist's typical behavior, you can prepare yourself for anything. This is the most critical step, since it means you are no longer a pawn in their games. While you wait, please share your experiences with ignoring a narcissist. We've reached the end of the video for today. That you found this information to be helpful brightens my day. The comment section is below if you'd like to share your ideas and experiences. When you're done, click the bell to be notified of new uploads to our channel. I value your attention to what I have to say and appreciate your attention to my words. Thanks. When a narcissist gives you their total affection, what you expect is not what you see. Everyone, we're glad to have you here. We appreciate you taking the time to view this video. If you're a first-time viewer, this channel's sole purpose is to expose self-centered narcissistic individuals. Today, I intend to discuss how narcissistic individuals convince us and others that they are capable of love. You get a lot more than a simple "I love you." In most cases, these are physical manifestations of affection. They appear to be aware of the power of the human touch and use it to their benefit. When it comes to the love-bombing phase, for most people, this is a critical component. Because a narcissist seeks to establish trust as quickly as possible, touch can do just that. For some narcissists, showing affection is a way to get what they want. Narcissists tend to have agendas, whether in public or private. Today, I'm going to focus a lot on PDA, or public display of affection. When two people are deeply in love, they can't help but show their affection for one another in public. On the other hand, narcissists are known to engage in a public display of affection, PDA, to deceive the other person and the general public. For them, it's all about making people think they're kind and loving. Their goal is to make others believe that they genuinely care about and love the people they interact with daily. When a narcissist is in the love-bombing stage, they will do anything to make you believe they love you. In my opinion, PDA is typical in the early stages of a relationship. Only as the relationship deepens does the PDA take on a more strategic role. A narcissist's use of personal data interchange, PDA, is purely for show. You can tell when you're no longer in the love-bombing phase of the relationship by how affection is replaced by devaluation when no one is watching. Criticisms, silence, and looks of superiority await you behind closed doors. And when they drop a love bomb on you, which doesn't happen very often, you can be sure they're after something. Narcissists have a keen sense of timing and discretion when displaying their affectionate side. With family and close friends, it appears they're more likely than others to show affection. They have no problem pretending to be kind, loving, and caring in those situations. Some of them may even flatter you in front of others. When the narcissist lacks interest in you and refuses to do anything for free, this all occurs. As a result, when someone is friendly to you, you can bet they're doing it because they want something from you. When no one is looking, they will ignore you and hurt you, but when others are, or when it makes sense, they will act like you're happy together. Narcissists are self-absorbed individuals who are preoccupied with how others perceive them. Regardless of how you feel, they don't give a shit about it. They don't give a damn if you're happy or not. What matters is that you maintain your complicity in projecting the image or type of relationship that you believe they are constructing with you. They will undoubtedly have a long list of explanations if you try to determine why they behave differently while you are not around, whether due to stress at work, being ill, or being overly occupied. But the narcissist is only interested in using you. It shouldn't cost them anything to show you how much they care if they genuinely care about you. Instead of being motivated by social pressure, it should stem from a sincere desire to feel closer to you. When you first meet a narcissist, they'll either be all over you or want you to be all over them. They may no longer want you to touch them as the relationship deteriorates. Only a hug, a quick kiss on the cheek, or even a handshake is acceptable in public. Another reason the narcissist might stop being nice to you in public and privately is if they have a new supply source with which they want to replace you. Someday they may no longer feel the need to be in your immediate vicinity because someone else will be able to satisfy those needs. As a result, the narcissist will stop showing affection and treat you coldly. To summarize, we can see that the affection of a narcissist is never genuine and always accompanied by some cost. In PDA, it's all about controlling how others perceive you. Narcissists can only fake love, but they can be convincing when they do so, even more so in a world where everyone yearns to be loved and to have that love reciprocated. We can only watch for any signs of trouble at this point. And don't get sucked into narcissists' games, when expressing affection for you is merely a ploy. As always, I hope this information was helpful to you. I would greatly appreciate the like button if you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. When a narcissist uses future faking whenever you ask them about commitment. We're back for another episode. My heartfelt wishes to everyone who has arrived today. My channel wouldn't exist without your help. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to this channel and turning on the notification bell. Let's begin. Commitment and narcissism are the topics of discussion in this video. Is it going to be a hit? They might be able to. To put it another way, they desire and can't sustain committed relationships such as marriages and close family ties, as well as close friendships and business partnerships of all types. So, that's what I'm going to discuss today. I'll explain why narcissists lack commitment and how you can tell if you're one. But first, I just wanted to say hello and thank you for visiting this channel, which is dedicated to bringing the public's attention to others' selfish behavior. Before I go any further, let me define the term committed. It is a commitment to fulfill a promise to do, give, or be loyal to someone or something. Because narcissists crave intimacy, love, and commitment, the second part of this quote is more pertinent to our discussion today. It doesn't matter if it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a family relationship. They want you to give it your all. As long as they need you, they want you by their side. To be a committed person, you must be honest, trustworthy, and loyal. It's what makes a relationship great if you're loyal, consistent, and all the other great things. The problem is that narcissists want you to be committed to them, but they don't want to be committed to you similarly, and they don't think it's wrong in their warped minds. There are two sets of rules for narcissists. People talk a lot about the importance of commitment, but don't follow through on it. This is because the obligation of commitment belongs to you, not them. It's abundantly clear from this those narcissists aren't afraid of being committed. Because they believe they'll get it, they're unwilling to give it up. Some narcissists desire the loyalty of others, but cannot reciprocate. For one thing, they can't form real emotional bonds with other people because they are narcissistic. They have no idea who you are or what you're going through. So narcissists' relationships with others are short-term and prone to change. The words they use to express how much they adore and cherish one another are hollow. Because the narcissist cannot keep any of their promises, these are nothing more than empty words and promises intended to make the other person feel better. To get you to step up your game and contribute more to the relationship, narcissists use the word commitment. Because narcissists can only be committed to people and things for a short period if it benefits them, everything you thought the narcissist was committed to quickly vanishes. They lose interest, desire, and commitment when something or someone better comes along. In a nutshell, the sell-by date of commitment for narcissists is concise. The moment you blink, it's gone, but they try to fool you into thinking it hasn't. Narcissists don't give a second thought when it comes to making promises. As a result of their selfishness, focus on themselves, and lack of love, they cannot make a long-term commitment. On the other hand, narcissists are obsessed with presenting the best possible image of themselves to persuade others to do the same. The narcissist can manipulate us into doing more for them if we are led to believe that they care about us and love us. Narcissists, like the rest of us, crave relationships. All of this, however, is being sought without providing us with what we are due. Indeed, if they knew they could get away with doing nothing and still get everything, they would do it in a heartbeat. Because, as I've said before, your happiness doesn't matter to anyone. Whatever you want or need, you can get what you want. Everything is at the whim of the narcissist. True love and happiness can be boring for a narcissist, and they learn that they don't need a partner when it's up to them to decide. The only thing that narcissists seem to care about, at the end of the day, is spreading lies and promoting their false identities. If you give them a chance, they'll do whatever they want to you. Self-awareness and a desire to live are the driving forces behind their actions. Their sole focus is on how it will benefit them. What's the point of bothering with this? Therefore, narcissists are sure to let you down when it comes to long-term commitments to others or things that do not help them, because they break agreements and do not care about others. Narcissists don't give a second thought when it comes to making promises. They don't want to be rejected. So, to avoid being rejected and gain our trust, they'll pretend to be victims or a saint. Narcissists are excellent at pretending to be committed, but they never keep their end of the bargain. Today's discussion has come to an end. Please share this with your friends and family if you found this video helpful. I'd like to hear from you as well, so don't hesitate to write down your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. When a narcissist knows they hold no power against you, this is what happens. The topic we'll be covering today all have one thing in common. To what extent do narcissists often resort when their strategies fail? When you have them exactly where you want them to be, once they have been revealed completely. What happens when a narcissist loses control of a loved one? First of all, subscribing to my channel would mean a lot to me if you found this video useful or enjoyable. Please remember that this video is not meant to serve as a substitute for professional help or to diagnose mental health problems. Let's begin. Narcissists have an extreme preoccupation with their own feelings and the approval of others, and they have difficulty taking criticism well. They struggle to empathize and may resort to manipulative behavior as a result. And hey, let's be honest. We've all been there and done that. Not quite extreme, but probably to a certain point. On the other hand, we see that these traits remain constant in those with pathological narcissism. It's their state of being. Due to their vengeful nature, it is reasonable for them to fear the consequences when their secret is revealed. In terms of their behavior, narcissists are generally difficult to predict. However, it's not hard to predict how a narcissist would act after they feel they've lost influence over you, if you've ever had even a platonic connection with one or were raised in a narcissistic family. Because narcissists place such a high value on other people's praise and approval, this is to be expected. They have no concept of self-identity and hence have no comprehension of the world. They will resort to bullying, threatening, intimidating, and humiliating people into giving them what they seek, attention and affirmation, on their terms, which can be unrealistic. Their minds are always plagued by feelings of envy and shame, and the strangest part is that they often engage in repulsive actions to cover up their feeling and shame. People who are cruel to others, by acts such as disregard, rejection, punishment, infidelity, derision, etc., usually end up on their own. This is what happens to many narcissists. They always end up on their own because of their nasty behaviors. This means that they have a limited repertoire of responses to use when they lose control over someone. They may even try to reconcile with you in person. They certainly are, but maybe not in terms of the harm they've caused. Mostly, they're sorry because of what they face at the moment, the fact that they've lost a valuable narcissistic supply. They're sorry for the fact that they're all alone again, being abandoned. They feel ashamed that now they're exposed. An alternative is to provide an explanation before offering an apology, such as, "It's not me, it's my anxiousness. The fact that I'm ill is out of my control. I'm unable to regulate my actions because of my addiction to this substance. Please accept my apologies. After all, you also said something that deeply hurt me years ago." Things may go around that line. Unfortunately, most apologies are forgotten after a short period of time has passed. Whether it be 1 day or 1 week, they'd go back to their old self. Narcissists tend to revert to their previous behavior patterns. Exceptionally talented narcissists don't have trouble changing their gameplay. They simply discover novel approaches to old problems. The same thing, only a different setup. They can act as if they're trying to reason with you rather than apologize. Just picture this person taking the grey rock approach, where they just answer inquiries with a single word, or the no-contact approach, where they simply stop answering queries. Sending a text or email with the message, "I've no idea what I've done to hurt you, but I'll always love you," is a common manner of expressing regret for past wrongdoings and assuring the recipient of one's eternal love. In such a situation, you can probably anticipate a lot of jumbled words followed by a threat like, "And I'm going to let other people know what you're like. But still, I want you to know that my feelings for you will never change." If you do receive such a message, or if you do receive an apology, pleading, or tears, perhaps you are contemplating giving them another chance. I won't talk you out of it, but I will ask you to think about drawing on your experience. I mean, how many times can they say sorry before you stop listening? Perhaps it wasn't a large sum, but how many were there? So, the negative behavior ended after the apologies were issued, correct? Since this has always been the case before, why should this time be any different? Secondly, narcissists almost never apologize when they've been discovered lying. They will not admit their destructive behavior to you or anyone else, so they can't or will not recognize their own inadequacies, misjudgments, mistakes, or limits, even to themselves. Rather, there are typically many false allegations. They'd alter what you've said or done, or claim that you did, or said things you never did or uttered. Create alternate stories that make people misinterpret you and your intentions. Your partner may have perfected the art of manipulation and gaslighting if you've been together for some time. If it appears that other people believe them too, you can start to question your own sanity. Covert narcissists may appear modest and contrite to onlookers, yet their true feelings of superiority to others may not be hidden at all. Third, they may reach out to others you know outside of the relationship to show their true care for them, after a breakup if they haven't previously. To the narcissist, making sure the people around you are under their control is of utmost significance. Saying that they haven't heard from them in quite some time, that they're worried about them, or that they suddenly developed a strong preference for something related to them. They'll join up with the team and quickly become fast friends with everyone else in that group. It's possible they'll try to get in touch with them personally by sending cards, calling, or inviting them out to dinner. The narcissist wants to show that, despite their first impressions, they are honourable people deserving of respect. In addition, this offers numerous advantageous outcomes to the narcissist. The goal is to recruit flying monkeys, or reliable friends and family members of the victim, to act as informants. Narcissists make use of these people to watch over you in order to learn pertinent details about you. Shortly, its main purpose is to scare the victim into submission, or to make sure the victim is still under their control, letting the victim stay in a dangerous situation where they can do more harm. It's an adaptive response that allows the narcissist to manage their own perceptions of the circumstance, as well as the perceptions of those around them. Narcissism is corrosive because it first eats away at a person or thing from the inside, and then, if that fails, it tries to destroy it from the outside. Number 4, they will project onto their victims. To get their victims to accept responsibility for their poor behaviour, they often resorted to emotionally blackmailing them. A narcissist who has just lost a significant other or close friend may try to use their grief, shame, and humiliation to gain sympathy. That takes a lot of guts, for sure. They will resort to any means necessary in order to attempt to manipulate the victim's emotional side and elicit feelings of pity and sympathy for themselves at the expense of the victim. They will not stop pleading, crying, begging, whining, being angry, etc., until the victim apologizes for how they feel about the treatment they received. When referring to a similar incident, I often say, "They wet the bed and blamed the blanket." Number 5, they're getting mean and petty. It's like everything is your fault. In the narcissist mind, they say, "How dare you try to see through me? How dare you want to stop putting up with my antics?" Keep in mind that narcissists think everything is about them, and what they did to their victims is because they deserve it. They deserve the worst treatment possible if need be. Certain people are predisposed to destructive or aggressive behaviour. They could spread damaging rumours. It's possible that they're purposefully withholding data, assets, and information, that which they think will give them back power and control over their victims, that they have a responsibility to set an example for their victims. 6. If they are unable to maintain their deception, control, or threat, they may try to form a trauma bond. A victim of a narcissist may begin to believe that the narcissist's pattern of poisonous behaviour is no longer hurtful because it has become ordinary. One who is being emotionally abused may appear to an outsider to be completely dependent on the narcissist. Perhaps they are financially dependent, or maybe emotionally dependent. Having a child, for example, means they are likely to spend a lot of time together. Perhaps they have developed an unhealthy reliance on their abuser and will never be able to break free. it's possible that the issue is of a physical nature, such as a health problem. The narcissist will attempt to form a trauma bond, a link based on a shared traumatic experience, even if one did not previously exist. If it was already there, they would fortify it in any way possible, doing anything they could to make it extremely difficult for the victim to exercise any independence or to flee. A narcissist who believes they are losing control over someone may exhibit the aforementioned actions and personality traits. Naturally, there's a lot more to it. Please feel free to give your 2 cents to the discussion about this topic by typing them in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and activate the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads. Thank you.